I got this from my mom when I was at her house. She always buys stuff and gives me the stuff that she don't want no more. Like she bought this. It's a grinder. And yeah, she was like, she bought this grinder and it wasn't heavy duty enough, so she bought another one and she gifted this to me. So I'm definitely gonna use this because, you know, I've been trying to grind my, like, what do I grind? I'm sure I can find something to grind, some herbs, something to put up in here. Anyways, welcome back to my channel, guys. Some of you guys know that I work in a prison and I work around severely mentally ill inmates. They have definitely done crimes to get in there, but I've started to question whether or not I feel like prison is the best place for inmates who are mentally ill. My grandmother used to work in a place in Milledgeville called Central State Hospital. There was like a mental health institution, and they closed it down like several years ago, but she used to work there. I used to go there with her when I was a little girl, and I used to be spooked. That was so many years ago, and who would ever thought that I would be working around mentally ill inmates? I never thought I would be working in a prison at all, to be honest with you. That kind of just happened. It just kind of happened. I went to the military and I chose to be a military police officer. I don't know. That was the field that I was interested in. When the recruiter told me that they were looking for black females to be military police officers, I just like jumped at the opportunity because I just felt like I was really interested in law enforcement. And I don't know, I felt like that was my way to get in. Although I was only in for like 4 years, yeah, it was pretty interesting. It was interesting. I met my husband the first day at my first duty station, and I heard somebody in my right ear tell me that was my husband. And when I looked over my shoulder, nobody was there. You know what I mean? Like, I swear I heard it, and I just believe that the reason why I went to the military was probably for that reason alone. Yeah, because it was on after I met him. Like, it's been me and him ever since. No regrets. Absolutely no regrets at all. I knew right away. That he was my guy. You just know. When you know, you know. And if you know, then you know you don't have to explain like the reasons why and things like that. Like, we're very compatible, and we both have worked hard in our marriage to be what we need for it to be in order for it to work. So it is very easy. It's very easy. Now, in the beginning, it was a little rough because, you know, that's just what it is. That's what marriage is. It's a little hard sometimes, but it's always been easy in a sense where it's been easy to always talk to him. It's always been easy to have fun with him. Like, yo, it can just be me and him, and I'm happy with that. Like, I'm really, really content with that. Having kids always gonna change the dynamic of the relationship, you know. So having 3 kids definitely changed the dynamics of our relationship. We had to learn how to both like parent mutually and respectfully. Like, there were some things that I like was serious about, and there were some things that he's not serious about. There's some things that like we just had to try to like figure those things out. But for the most part, our foundation was always kind of the same. Some of you guys don't know me, so I don't know. Today I just feel like it's one of those days where I just want to give you a little bit of insight about who I am, because yesterday I shared a video where I told you guys like some of my medical stuff, like what the heck was going on with me, and it just dawned on me that some of y'all are like, girl, I don't even know you. You ain't even said hey. So today's video is just going to be talking about a little bit about that and the mental health field. And I don't have anything written down. It's just, maybe I should, because sometimes I feel like I lose my train of thought. And I'm really trying hard not to skip from one place to the next. But I consider like most of you guys are my girls and my guys. You know what I'm saying? Like, we just be talking back and forth. I read all of your comments. So I feel like we have a really good relationship to where you guys, most of you guys know where I'm coming from. So if I skip around, you know, it's all good. It's all good. It's all good. I think when you have a regular conversation with people anyways, you tend to skip around. But honestly, when you are on camera and it's just the conversation right now, it's just one-sided. Yeah, skipping around is to be expected. It's to be expected. It's not like I have a narrator in the background saying, hey, don't forget to talk about this, that, and the other. You know what I'm saying? But most people do write cue cards, but I don't know. Anyways, you guys, I woke up this morning and one of the things that I saw was, it was so shocking to me. Stephen Twitch Boss. They call him Twitch. So apparently he died. So they're thinking that he died of suicide. He was also on So You Think You Can Dance. He was on a movie too. But, you know, him and his wife. Oh, let me see what she says, because an hour ago she posted something. She posted her husband lit up every room he stepped into. He was the backbone of their family and inspired fans. So, I think they met on that show, So You Think You Can Dance. Here's the thing. That's so sad. It's so tragic. And you see them all the time. I would see him all the time on Instagram. He was just on on TV, on like major commercials and things like that. We sometimes think that our men can carry the weight of the world on their shoulders. Just because they're men, it does not mean that they are immune to mental health, mental illness issues. You know, there's a difference between mental health and mental illness as well. Listen, we don't know. We can only speculate. Right now, it's so fresh. You know, the only thing I see is that on the news is saying that he died of, you know, self-inflicted injury. That's very, very, very unfortunate. I've talked about this before in another video. And I've always explained that if somebody really wants to do that, it's really nothing. I hate to say that there's nothing that you can do, but it's just going to be hard for you to like really prevent it, because sometimes, a lot of times when it gets to this point, they've already had their minds made up. However, there are signs, there are indicators, you know, you got to kind of understand like their baseline though. The baseline. If somebody is always happy and then all of a sudden you notice a change in their personality, they're sad all the time, they're constantly depressed, or it can flip if they're constantly depressed and then all of a sudden now they're happy, they're giving away things, you know, they're telling people weird things like, you know, I'll see you again one day, or, you know, just saying just things that are kind of weird. I deal with a lot of inmates who have had these tendencies, and a lot of times major depressive disorder is like a flag that we kind of like, it's something that we really pay attention to when we notice that somebody has that in their background, major depressive disorder. And what that is, it's not your normal depression. It is this person that has been clinically diagnosed with depression, and they have had depressive episodes for a long period of time. So sometimes what we do is we look at inmates, like we look into their history, and if we notice that they have like tried to hurt themselves before, then we know that we really need to like be mindful of that and really watch them and check in with them on a regular basis. But they're inmates, and the good thing is we have the background to be able to do that. Like this guy right here, Twitch, like I don't know what his baseline is. So I don't know if he was depressed. I don't know if he had major depressive disorder. I don't know if he dealt with anything like that. So that's the thing. Like until we can figure out like what might have been going on, then we really don't know. During the holidays, it is peak season for that. It's peak season for that. People be going through stuff during the holiday times, you know. And I always talk about, like, I've talked about it before, seasonal depression is something that happens around this time. Look, it starts to get dark around 5 o'clock, actually like 4:30. It starts to get dark. I don't know about you, but I like the sun. You know what I'm saying? I like daylight. So when it starts to get dark around 4:30, 5 o'clock, I'm feeling some kind of way. Like, people, not everybody is happy that it's Christmas time. Sometimes people have lost a significant other or lost a family member or friend during this time of the year. And we have anniversary depression, which is another thing that comes around this time of the year. This happens, it's that time of the year where they're reminded of their loved ones, and so they start to, like, think about that and remembering things, and, you know, going down that road. So, and the first thing I thought about when I saw that he had passed away, it was like, they say that it is, you know, self-inflicted, you know, with guys, you know, that's what it's usually going to be, because that's what they choose to do, how they do it. With women, it's a little bit different. Women, a lot of times, you know, will take pills and things like that. But with men, it'll usually be like self-inflicted, you know. When Naomi Judd passed away, the way she passed away, I was shocked, because it was like, women usually don't do it like that, you know. So I was like, wow. But yeah, a lot of times when a person gets to that point, they are tired, man. They're fed up. Depression can be physically debilitating. It can be debilitating. I mean, they can have a hard time getting out of bed in the morning, brushing their teeth, eating, like going to work. It can have them not sleeping. It can have them sleeping all the time. It can just range. What it does to the body can just do some things. So every single day they wake up and they're feeling the same way, and they're not coming out of this depression, and they get to a place where they just feel like they would be better off not feeling like that anymore. So that's what happens. We don't know what, you know, could have been a trigger. Maybe it was a history of mental illness. Maybe it was a history of, like, maybe something was going on between him and his wife, you know. Maybe we can only speculate, like, what can take a person there. But at any rate, I did want to talk to you guys a little bit about it. Working in that field, I know, like yesterday, somebody, when I had shared my story with my health issues, somebody mentioned, let me get your name right, because yo, you deserve a shout out. So I want to thank everybody, first of all, for sending me positive vibes. You guys are so cool. Thank you so much, KCB, Lisa L, thank you so much, Taylor Carson, Lisa Robinson, Marcel Alexander, AZ Shopping Princess, Cindy Mac, Anita Diaz, Black Storm. You guys are so precious to me, for real. Tiffany, Jody, Tashia Reagan, thanks for the kind words. Always Deb. But yo, listen, let me try to find this comment, because Grace, hey girl, hey. Let me try to find this comment real quick before my battery, looks like my battery is getting ready to die. Pauline Henry, she was like, yo, this happens when you have the type of job, like, you know, like, she's like, I experienced the same thing working in the court system. And I just want to say, yeah, yo, working in the mental health field is very stressful. It's very, very stressful. Very, very, very stressful. On top of working in a prison, yo, I got like a good 4 years left, and I'm done with it. Have you ever talked to somebody who is paranoid? Oh my goodness. Everything you say can and will be used against you. It is like, and they look at every single thing. That's all day. That's just not that moment. That's all day, babes. It's every day, every single day.